Hey guys, it's me here in November. Welcome back to Island of PSA. Today I want to include a trigger warning for restraints, mental hospital, talking in depth about mental hospital and suicidal ideation / cutting. This is not a video I want to post. This isn't something I'm excited to post about. This isn't something like, woo, look at me, look at me. Don't even know what the video is going to be titled yet, but it's basically, I think I'm going to title it Mental Hospital Restrictions, My Story. This isn't to brag. This isn't something I'm happy about that happened. I'm putting this out to show others that there is hope, because I've been if you don't know me, I'm November. Schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type, borderline personality disorder, PTSD, and anxiety, and I make videos about mental health advocacy and psychiatric survivors advocacy. I've been to the hospital 25 times, and I've been out for almost a year, so there is hope. This, I'm going to talk about restrictions I had in the mental hospital. I have a whole hour and a half, I think, video on my other channel, which is November Williamson, that I'm not going to be posting anymore. I'm just going to be posting on this, even like vlogs and stuff like that. Okay, so basically, if you don't know, psychiatric hospitals have different restrictions depending on what you need. I'm going to go over some terminology and then we'll get into it. So line of sight is like the lower end of the restriction bar, I guess you would say. It's basically where you have to be in staff's line of sight at all time. So you have to, at Summit Ridge, you have to sleep on the floor outside in the hallway, sleep on the floor, and then you can't close your door. You can, when you're in the bathroom, you can't shut the door. You have to leave it open, but no one's like watching. Well, I mean, they're watching, but they're not like right there. 1-to-1 is apparently there's 2-to-1, but I've never seen anyone personally on 2-to-1, but I've heard people have been on it. But 1-to-1 is one staff member to one patient, and they have to be within arm's reach of you. They watch you pee, they watch you shower, they watch you sleep. They're always with you. There's different kinds of restraints. I live in Georgia in the Atlanta area, so the restraints here, it's 1 hour. So they have something called, I'm going to start with seclusion. So seclusion is basically a room, like, think of like a padded cell, kind of. That's kind of what it's like. And they shut the door and you're just in there. And then restraints is actually what you would think of. It's on your arm. They have a 4-point and 5-point. 4-point is wrist, ankle, and 5-point is wrist, ankle, and stomach. I was only ever in 4-point. Okay, so, there's also chemical restraints, which are shots. Usually the psychiatric hospital Holy Trinity is Ativan, Benadryl, and Haldol. Yeah, Ativan, Benadryl, and Haldol. So there's that. So the first experience when I was in Summit Ridge, and if you haven't watched my story video, I was in PHP at Summit Ridge, partial hospitalization program, and I read a suicide note that Friday. I think I was supposed to graduate the next week, and then I got admitted to the hospital. Okay. I was on line of sight my first night because I scored high on the suicide test. I got offered within like 24 hours. Then the third time I was at Summit Ridge, I was really suicidal, and they put me on 1-to-1 for a couple of days. And then I was off 1-to-1, just normal. At Lakeview, this is where after 3 hospitalizations at Summit Ridge, and my parents were like, okay, you're either going to, seriously have a complete miracle and change, or you're going to long-term. So I went to long-term, but before I went to long-term, I had to go to Lakeview. And there, I wasn't there 24 hours before I was so suicidal. I was very suicidal. I was trying every way to kill myself. I was trying drinking, trigger warning for suicide mention. Tried drinking bleach. I tried banging. I tried cutting. Tried all these different ways, and I was put on 1-to-1 for almost a week. I got shots, and when I was in 1-to-1, I was freaking out one day. First, they put me in seclusion, and then a nurse was in there, and then they put me in restraints. 1 or 2 times, I forget, but I actually was so sick, and I'm just saying this to show you there's hope. I tried to bite my finger off. I know that sounds so weird, but my logic was, okay, I'm going to bite my finger off so I can go to, the regular hospital and kill myself there with the cord. So I do still have the scar today. But yeah, I really dug deep in my finger. Okay, so then after a week of being, cats are on litter box. It's a week of being on suicide watch, I got off, and then Summit Ridge in 2017, I was suicidal. No, don't shut down laptop. Okay, there you go. Summit Ridge in 2017, I was suicidal, and I got put in a paper gown, which is exactly what it sounds like. Unit restriction, which I couldn't leave the unit. My lunches, my meals were eaten in the unit. I had to stay in the unit when the people went to crafts. And then pure restriction, which I didn't even know existed, because I was so suicidal. They don't want me talking to other people and talking about how to kill myself. So they put me on pure restriction for like 2 days. That was the worst. I was actually on pure restriction on my 17th birthday. So, and then, and that was because I was suicidal. On East Side in 2019, I was on 1-to-1 until I left. I tried to hang myself on the door, and they have like a door alarm, and the door alarm went off. And then I was on 1-to-1 for like a whole week, and literally when I asked the doctor, I'm like, why are you making me leave? I'm on 1-to-1, and you just can throw me out over there. Like, well, we can't do anything else to help you here, so goodbye. What? That's not how you take care of people. Anyways, and then the last restriction I was on was in Summit Ridge, 2019, after I called my mom at the hospital and told her I was going to kill myself when I came out. She called the hospital, and the hospital put me on line of sight and unit restriction for a couple of days. But anyways, not something fun, not something I'm proud of, but I'm sharing this to show you guys that there is hope. So if you like what I do, check out my Linktree and be sure to subscribe. Okay, bye guys.